when I read this book, Fifth Brother, and also looked at the documentary that was shown, I could see many similarities and parallels between what Jane Tata and his sons did for the Indian Institute of Science and what PSG Naidu and his sons did to establish this great institution, group of great institutions, 30 strong institutions, starting from the baby steps of Sarvajana School to many leading institutes in different walks of art, science and technology, medicine today. I've also had the privilege of interacting with PSG institutions over the years. Sri Padmanabhan was alluding to Professor Kandaswamy. I think he has just stepped out right now. I don't see him there. But I think more than 2 decades ago, Swiss Council, along with Ministry of Electronics, when they wanted to sort of innovate and redefine the electronics education in the country, they had asked IISc to partner with one top institutes in southern state, and the institute that was chosen in Tamil Nadu was PSG College. And I had the privilege to interact with Professor Kandaswamy during those years, and subsequently when there was one more national program that was started in the country, National Program on Micro and Smart Systems, we created the network of national MEMS design centers, and yet again one very important institute that was part of that network was PSG Institute. And much later, I also had the privilege of visiting PSG Institute of Advanced Sciences. Dr. Radhakrishnan was heading this back then. So I have had this association with this institute, or a group of institutes, and it is really an humbling experience to come here today and receive this great honor. Thank you for that recognition. I really cherish this. I was also thinking, what else should I be telling you and reflecting as we stand at this momentous day here, the Institute PSG Charities completing 100 years. 100 years is indeed a very long time. But this is also an opportunity for us to sort of chart the future for the next 100 years. And that's true, not just for this PSG Charities, a great institute, but also as a country, for all of us. For all of us, the citizens of this great nation. I believe that we are at the threshold of a transformation as a country, as a nation. Since the independence, we have made a lot of progress, and of course, including PSG institutes have contributed to that. If you just look at last couple of decades, the kind of transformation that have taken place, from my vantage point of science and technology, if I were to look at that, just take a couple of examples, digital technologies, the way, all kinds of gadgets that have pervaded into our day-to-day life, and a kind of leapfrogging that as a country we have done. The digital public infrastructure that we have created, be it Aadhaar, be it UPI, every month India performs 13 billion UPI transactions. That is more than all the transactions combined in the Europe. That is the kind of progress that we have witnessed over the last couple of decades. But if you think about it, going forward, what we need as a country is to get the rightful place in the union of world nations. India deserves that. Of course, when I say India should really grow from strength to strength, I am not just referring to just the inner strength. India has been known for inner strength with spirituality and all the services that we have been doing over the years. It's also not the outer strength, the physical strength that I'm talking about. Today the strength is equated to economy, and economy relies on science and technology, the innovation that come in science and technology. The directions and the signs are all positive. We have just overtaken Japan to become the 4th largest economy in the country. And it is predicted in just a couple of years we will become 3rd largest economy, surpassing Germany. But if you think about it, while we are doing all this great progress, we are still not the leaders when it comes to, most of the areas in science and technology. We are consumers and also we are innovators. But we are not the first movers in many of these fields. Take, for example, healthcare. I have forayed into healthcare for a while now. Of course, India is known as the world leaders of generics. But we need to move the needle beyond that. We need to become world leaders in inventing new molecules which become blockbuster drugs, not just for India but for the rest of the world. Today, more than 80% of the medical equipments are imported. That is not done. That is not acceptable if you want to become the world leaders. We should be exporting 80% of the equipment to the rest of the world. Herein lies the opportunity, in my opinion. I think this is an opportunity as a country for all of us, and of course as educational institutions, for PSGs and many others in the country. As there was a reference to Swami Vivekananda earlier. One important thing that he had mentioned is that he has great belief in the young people of this country, and I continue to hold that belief, right? I think our youngsters, often we say that there are a lot of distractions for these youngsters, but these youngsters also have great capability. I think it is our responsibilities today as individuals as well as institutions to instill this confidence in these youngsters that you got to become the world leaders, not the followers. And for that to happen, the self-confidence and the belief that we are second to none is extremely important.